Hey, my name's Joel, and in this video, I'm gonna give you a closer look at this 60-foot extension cord reel from Flexzilla. It's a part of their Pro line, and there's some things inside this that make it different than every other extension cord reel I have in this shop, and I've got a lot. So stick around, find out what that is and why this is my top pick for your garage or shop. All right, so the first thing I did was add a backer board to my wall here. I've put 3-inch lag screws into a stud that's running horizontally here in our wall, and I've marked out placement for the lag bolts, which will pretty much just cover the depth of my backer board here. This is 3/4 inch plywood painted white, and now I'm gonna drill some pilot holes for those lag bolts. And so this is what we're attaching to the wall here. It kind of moves and allows the extension cord reel to articulate. You would normally stick the head of your screw through this so you could start them in your holes and then just let it slide up. But I like to add an extra washer in there, and that washer does not fit through that hole. My bolt does, but my washer does not. So I can either choose to take that washer off and start these, or I can do what I'm going to do probably here is just start these on this side of the bracket and then just simply screw them in like this. I don't find that to be that difficult. And there you have it, all installed. Really didn't take me more than 5 minutes here. Marked out my holes, added my lag bolts here, and I told you I added some extra washers. I just like that a little better than just the bolts in there and slipping through those holes. Wasn't that bad. But now we can rotate 180 degrees on the swivel point. Feels really solid. You can see on this side we have the Flexzilla branding, this great like lime green. We've got a big lock on the end of this. Now this can be adjusted. You see these little screws down in here? This can be adjusted so that the length of cable coming out is as far as you want it. And I tend to shorten these up a little because I put them right here at kind of waist height. I believe this is 34 inches off the ground, 34 to the top of my outlet, so a little higher for this. But it just allows me to grab them pretty easily without needing a ton of extra cord. You do have a long cord to your wall. This is probably 4 feet long here. See how long it is there? So I tend to tie these up a little bit. But plugging that in there, you can see we have plenty of extra cord in case you were not mounting right next to an outlet. When I built this shop, I put an outlet here specifically for this cord reel. So now I have it, and then here on the end, obviously we have 3-prong outlets. I kind of thought there would be a light on this that would indicate we were on. Oh, there it is. The green light. Hard to see in the sunlight there. The green light indicates that we are on. So we have 60 feet of cable in here. You can see here 60 feet of cable. It's a 12-3 AWG general use gauge cord. And if you take a look inside the mouth here, this is something that is unique to Flexzilla, or at least in this kind of style of cord reel. It has a cable management system. So there is a track right here that the cord runs on, but there's also a rail system down in there that feeds this back and forth as you go in and out, so that this cable will wind perfectly inside here. I want to show you another cord reel that doesn't have this so you can see what I mean. See, on this very similar but cheaper cord reel, you just have bumpers. You don't have any track to feed this across, so it doesn't feed back and forth and wind nicely. This will often get bound up on one side of the reel, and you kind of have to move it around, but not on the Flexzilla. And the Flexzilla comes pre-greased, which just speaks to the quality. So one of the many reasons to like this. 60 feet too. I've got a 40-foot wide shop here. I'm gonna pull this out, see how far we can get with it. It's gonna go a long way. I'm gonna end up in my warehouse. I don't know if I can even go far enough to, oh goodness, to pull it all the way out. Oh, I'm not even out of cord. I'm not even out of cord, and we've run all the way out of the shop into the warehouse. And you can see we do have a couple turns of cord left in there. Pull it all the way out. Yeah, there's the red line, shows us that we are at the end. But one thing I noticed while I was pulling this out, which, I mean, by the way, look at this. The edge of this room is 40 feet away. And look at how much cable we have left. 60 feet. So it's going to be long enough for whatever you need, but look at how responsive this is. I noticed this as I was pulling it out. Watch. Pull. And if I just hear one little tug, it's extremely responsive. That's more so than the other reels. I've got 4 reels in this warehouse, and the responsiveness of the Flexzilla is probably the best. Goes in nice, and then, yeah, I mean, no problem. It's going in. Let's see. Going in, stop, pull out. Yeah, it locks out really nicely. And then again, when I'm going in, I don't have to worry about the cord getting bunched in here. Look at how nicely it's going to put it away. Look at that cord management. And of course, I'm stopping it from going too fast, but that right there is the winner. So let's just go all the way out to the end and let it in, because that's probably the hardest way to do it. All right, ready? Let's pull it in. There, it's pulling it in. Not too fast, but it's going nice and easy. There's no kinks, there's no stops. That is so refreshing to let a cord reel go in and not have a bunch of stops and pulls out on the way through. Stops and pulls, stops and pulls. That's just really, really functional. Okay, so let's sum it all up for the Flexzilla Pro 60-foot extension cord reel. My thoughts are, this is one of the most well-engineered extension cord reels that I've ever owned. I have 4 different reels in this shop, and this would be my preference. If I could switch them all out to Flexzilla Pros, I would do that. In fact, I might do that. But the reason is I love this cord winding component and just how easily and quickly it locks out. Did you see that? It's so quick and easy to lock out. Just like that. You don't have to fight with it. It goes in and organizes itself every single time. If there's one thing I would change, it's that I don't really need all this cord, but maybe you do. I've strategically built this building so my reels will go right next to outlets and I don't need it all, but I'll probably just remedy that by zip tying it up here closer to the reel. Easy fix, but I love the adjustability, I love the swivel, and most of all, I love the reel component inside. It's what you can't see that makes this so great. So if you're looking for a really long-reaching, reliable, well-built extension cord reel, definitely check out the Flexzilla Pro. It's my pick.